How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys had a good weekend. Tomorrow is Liberation Day. I don't know why everything has to be so dramatic, but I mean, Trump is his strong suit, I guess, is his marketing shit. I don't really get where we're going with liberation, but I mean, draw your own conclusion. I think it's liberation from what? Bad trade policy, I guess, is where he's going with it. Anyway, tomorrow at 3 p.m., we're going to get the reciprocal tariff announcement. Basically, the big chunk of these tariffs that may be put into place is coming in hot, and that will be tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, I'll be paying attention to this and talking about it again tomorrow. This video is not going to be too long because we don't exactly know what's going to be in there. Reciprocal has everybody worried. Basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if a country charges us a tariff or a value-added tax, as a bunch of these countries in Europe have, we're going to reciprocate that tariff and tack them with a tariff. Now, I don't know how that's going to work quite as well. I'm still in the process of learning as much as I can about tariffs, obviously, because it's a big hot-button issue right now. But the United States, service-based economy, we import a ton of shit. The most stuff. We import more than any other country in the world. So our tariffs, in theory, should have a bigger impact than anybody else enacting a tariff. The problem is, and what is disagreed upon, is who pays for the tariff. The companies importing the things or the consumer buying the things. And in reality, I think, my personal opinion, and I think what makes the most sense, is both. People will pay more, the companies will pay more to import things, the importers will pay more. Everybody's going to pay a little bit more in the cycle. That's just how it's going to work. I don't think you get away short term without paying more. That's what's going to happen. As of right now, I've seen estimates, when I was looking at this a little bit earlier today, I've seen estimates of like $4,000 to $5,000 added cost to vehicles. As you know, if you drive anywhere in the United States, Ohio, where I'm from, is a little different. I guess we actually happen to have a giant Honda plant here in Ohio, in Marysville, Ohio, if you've ever heard of it. And we have Toyota, Honda, a lot of the Japanese auto manufacturers make cars here. I think some of the German ones do as well, but still, a lot of cars get imported from Europe and Asia. So China, Japan, Korea, a lot of these cars are coming from overseas. They are all going to get hit with this tariff. And more tariffs. I know they've gotten delayed. We'll have to see. Overall, I mean, I'll be paying attention to how the stock market reacts. It'll be curious. Typically, people react to the news, not necessarily the thing happening in real life. The announcement, the hype behind the action is where the reaction comes from, especially in the stock market. So we've already known this was coming for a while. So does the stock market have it priced in? Typically, like I said, it would. Now, in this instance, I don't know if I can really tell you that, and I definitely can't say that I know that for a fact, because, as we all know, if you're watching this, Trump is just one wild motherfucker. So, like, he might come out and say something that nobody was expecting and shake everything up again, so we'll have to pay attention for that. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. He'll say some unexpected things, but I don't think he's going to drop some bombshell tomorrow afternoon. Like I said in previous videos, uncertainty is the enemy of the stock market. So anytime he rocks the boat like that and drops new information on everybody that they have to now process and analyze and see how that's going to impact things, it's gonna negatively impact stocks, basically, for the most part. We've already implemented some tariffs as far as like Canada and Mexico. I know I've heard steel, aluminum, and lumber are getting tariffed like out the ass right now out of Canada. I know big lumber and steel producer that we import a bunch of their raw materials basically and bring them here. And that was gonna, from what I saw earlier as well, is like impact home prices. Like the estimate right now is like $20,000 to $30,000 tacked onto the home price. I mean, we'll see. A lot of these things is going to be, hey, 6 months from now, a year from now, we're going to see how this worked out. I think, I think I've been pretty consistent on this. Tariffs are kind of like a short-term pain, long-term gain strategy. I don't have a problem with that, but your midterm elections are probably going to have a problem with that. So I don't know about most, but many times people can be short-sighted, especially politically. Hey, I mean, if it's bad and it's just a net negative and it causes a bunch of terrible things to happen, it was just a bad idea, bad policy, should have never done it. And I would say as much when we get there a year from now, if that's what the case is. But if you tariff all these countries and renegotiate trade deals and bring some manufacturing back to the United States, if you do all that and prices go up a little, it's a cost benefit. I mean, it's a trade-off. You gotta weigh the options and see what the results are to make a decision. Now, people are already trying to jump the gun and say it doesn't matter. There's no way this is going to work out positive for the United States. I mean, okay, on what grounds, I guess? I mean, I'm sure there's economists out there. They obviously know more than me about economics. So, like, that's their entire field of study. They've dedicated their life to it. But if there's economists that have done this on both sides, and some argue, hey, there's going to be positives, hey, there's going to be negatives. I mean, it's pretty much like up in the air until we have some hindsight on the whole issue. And I don't think it'll take long to find out, because like I said, the news comes out, they price this into the stock market. Now, economic data in general is getting a little shaky. I've been talking about this in the past couple weeks. Atlanta Fed just dropped another GDP prediction. Now we're down to negative 3.7% over the next year. If you want an interpretation, not good. That's very bad. Negative 3.7% is bad. And other economic data, jobs, job openings, job hires, layoffs increasing. Like I said, the jobs numbers otherwise decreasing. Job openings and new jobs being created is decreasing. Layoffs increasing. Home prices staying high. Interest rates not being cut. Car prices staying relatively high. Grocery prices through the roof. Dude, I spent over $1,000 on groceries for my wife and my 7th month old. Okay, and granted, there's a little formula in there, but like, I mean, $1,000 for 2.5 people to eat for a month when we grocery shop, and we spent a good amount eating out because we ate out more than on it like normal this past month. Things are getting crazy, man. Like, I mean, it just keeps on racking up. More and more people are complaining about the housing market, obviously, rents, mortgages. Like I said, everything is pointing to negativity. We talked about it maybe a month ago, talking about yield curve inversion and recessions that follow that. I mean, we got a lot of indicators pointing to negative things happening right now. And, I mean, will the tariffs be the straw that broke the camel's back, per se? I don't think so, personally. I still think that, like, tomorrow will be kind of what is expected, and then we'll kind of dial it back from there, the tariffs. Like I said, if it can be used to net positive, I'm all for it. Even if you got to pay the price in the short term a little bit. Hey, I mean, everything comes with a cost, right, I guess, but you'll have to let me know what you think, especially tomorrow after we hear what actually comes of this. But, I don't know. That's the question. Will tomorrow is that it? Could this be like the turning point of the economic system where we just like go downhill from here if these tariffs are too restrictive and everybody panics when they hear something they weren't expecting? I don't think so, but like I said, let me know what you think. Like the video if you got some out of it. Hope you did. Subscribe, come back for more. I'd appreciate it. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And otherwise, dislike the video. Tell me what to improve. Hope the audio sounds a little better. Got some new tires on the car, so it's a little bit quieter in here, honestly. So hopefully that is reflected in the audio quality. And catch you guys tomorrow.